Are we here? That was so weird. So weird. So if you're just coming in now or you're catching the part 2, you didn't see part 1, we had some channelings, we had some chats, we did collective read, we did air and earth, and I was just about to get into fire or water, and I was trying to feel out which one to do. Um, and I had this really crazy visual of for the fire signs. I literally saw a forest on fire, like burning down, and I was like, "Oh." It's like, "Oh, that's like intense." And just as I was about to say it, and I like closed my eyes to kind of tune in, and I opened my eyes, and the entire screen on my monitor, it wasn't even YouTube anymore. It was an entire screen of just like some weird ass error message, but it was on the YouTube tab. I've never seen this error message. It actually kind of reminded me of something you'd see on Apple, not like I don't this isn't an Apple computer. I'm not an Apple person, but it reminded me of that and I'm like, I've never seen that before. I don't know what to make of that. So I tried refreshing all the things and it was still live and it gave me the option to reconnect, but I tried like a bunch of times and it wouldn't let me in. So it's still running. I couldn't even close it. I couldn't even end the live. So here we are. So needless to say, we're starting with fire and then we'll do water last, okay? Whew. A way to make me nervous, fire signs. Callie was just on fire. Really? Oh, that makes me sad. Does this always happen at a certain time, I wonder? Um Sorry, that was super distracting. Yes and no. Like usually the 1 hour 50 some mark, it'll like do a weird little thing, but not that. Like that was a complete like we are no longer online anywhere. And it didn't even say I wasn't online, but that's how it looked. I don't know. It was really bizarre. And it was as I was trying to focus on fire. So, what are you doing, fire signs? What are you up to, fire signs? Let's see. Let's take a peek. Aries, Leo, Sag. What's going on for my fire signs? I keep just seeing a giant forest fire is honestly what I just keep seeing. Um Interesting. So fire signs, you have the riddle. I'm getting pulled to a lot of animals. I didn't use the animal deck for the other elements. But I'm like getting pulled to it really strongly. We'll see if I can withstand that call. But the riddle coming out. When the riddle comes out, we're usually going through something where it's just like something doesn't make sense, where it feels kind of like trickstery or enigmatic, or maze like, or just like, again, what is going on, what is happening. But I'm not feeling that with you. I don't feel the riddle with you. So I'm just confused as to why it's out here. Why is the riddle here for fire? Why is the riddle here for fire? You got 2 cards. So the ring also came out for earth, which is interesting because I'm seeing a forest on fire with you. But we have the maiden and the ring. And that's tied to the riddle. There's a lot about like cycles and entanglements that I'm getting with you. Ensnared is a word that's coming through. The snake is coming through. It's weird. I almost want to say like instead of dealing with the riddle, you're just gonna burn the riddle. It's almost how it feels. Like like if you have a puzzle in front of you, instead of doing the puzzle, you're just gonna burn it instead. It's almost how it feels. I'm getting something intertwined and entangled. I can't get away from that feeling around the maiden too. Like maiden is like I'm actually hearing the word naive. Maiden is kind of a pure, almost innocent, youthful energy. Why do I feel like you're burning the maiden? God. I don't know what's gonna come of this reading. We're just gonna roll with it. We're just gonna roll with it. But that's how it feels. You're burning the ring and the maiden. You're burning it. You're destroying it. I want to say you're burning an entanglement. You could be doing a ceremony where you're doing like some of you may be doing a cord cutting. Like some of you may actually be doing like a cord cutting where you're burning twine or you're burning rope or you're burning knots. It's interesting. Tell me more about this burning that's happening here. Yeah, some of you guys are doing a cord cutting ceremony that involves twine and knots and fire. Maybe even candles. Hopefully candles. Yeah, I just can't take it anymore. Fire signs, no pun intended, but a little bit. You've reached the end of your rope with something. You've reached your tolerance. You're oh, I'm starting to get that like angry, like really angry energy. You've hit your tolerance with a certain experience. And I wanna say the desert is how you've been feeling, and you've had enough of the desert. That's how this feels. This is why I wanna say you're just, like, ready to just burn it all down because you just can't stand it anymore. You can't stand looking at it, you can't stand experiencing it, you can't stand being a part of it, you just can't stand it anymore, so you're just going to burn it down out of spite, is how this feels. I know this sounds extreme, it's not gonna be that extreme for all of you, but it's like the level of irritation is, like, suddenly I feel like I'm almost like I'm like drowning in anger or irritation. I feel like this is a very needed moment for you, to be honest. Um, maybe this is actually what you've needed all along is your anger, is your intolerance for something, is your intolerance for a certain pattern or experience. Maybe you've needed to be intolerant about it. Maybe you've needed to get to a point of like enough is enough to actually find your way out of it. Yeah, it's almost like being in the forest, and instead of, like, continuing to try to find your way out, you're just gonna burn down the forest and be like, "Fuck it. I'm just gonna burn it down, then it won't be here, then I'll be out." It's like it's very angry. Um, tell me about the desert for my fire signs, and again, please take this as it is for you. Um, some of oh, Jesus, yeah. Yeah, you've had enough. Um, some of this could be a job, some of this could be a relationship, right? Where it's like maybe things have been confusing and very uncomfortable and you've been trying, you've been like you've been trying to deal, you've been trying to deal. So maybe this could literally feel like the journey you've been on because the desert is very like ugh, I don't like this card. I also feel some kind of way about the desert, just being totally honest. But this is a card where shit is hard. This is a card where things are insufferable, right? Where it feels like there's no breaks, there's no give, there's no ease, like there's no water, there's no life. It's like where things are just unnecessarily difficult. I'm also hearing vacant, maybe even unnecessarily vacant, like void of something, where you've been in a situation or an experience, relationship, job, whatever, that has left you severely lacking and you just have felt like you've been stuck there, like you haven't been able to find your way out of it. Thank you. This is also why the maiden is here. Some of you feel like you haven't been able to take care of yourself in some fashion, in some way. And some of you that's actually equating to your inner child, even. Some of you that's equating to your feminine. Like you haven't been able to nurture or take care of yourself in some way that's been vital to you. And you've just had enough. If you were a god, you would shake the earth. Okay. That's what you would do. If if you were a titan, you would shake the earth and break it apart because you just don't want to deal anymore. um, but I think that has actually been what has been necessary. It's like you've been avoiding getting to this point for some reason. And I think that's actually been the answer to the riddle is getting to this point where you are willing to burn everything or shake the earth. This is so interesting. Can I get one more card, please? For my fire signs. I really want to say it's been needed. Like this riddle energy, the being in the desert, the metaphorical forest, it's like there's something about it where I want the right words. I'm not going to say it's self-created. I'm not going to say it's a self-created situation because it doesn't feel that way. And I think that's how it feels to you. Like it feels like something you've had to struggle with and suffer through. But maybe there has been a component, oh, the pain body. Maybe there has been a component where the pain body has kept you in this space. This is why do I feel like maybe you've been fighting a piece of yourself here? Like everything in you has like been wanting to burn this down and you've resisted doing that for some reason. And I want to say the reason you've been resisting burning this down or shaking the earth is a piece of you saying, don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to be mad at yourself if you do it. Oh, just even saying those words, I felt this rush of energy go through my head. I think that's what this is, fire signs. Whatever desert-like situation you've been in, the metaphorical finding your way through the forest, you've needed to burn it down. You've needed to be angry. You've needed to shake the earth. And some of you have been resisting doing it because maybe when you did that in the past, it really led to some bad consequences, but you actually need to do this. This is confirmation of what deep down you may already know, okay? And I keep getting there's like a piece of you that hasn't been able to be taken care of, and you need to do this so you can actually take care of this piece of you. So you can take care of this piece of you. It's looking out for yourself. It's looking out for your needs. Yeah, I like there's something in your past that's telling you not to. And again, I wanna say where maybe you did this in a way where maybe it wasn't called for in the moment, or maybe it like, people reacted weird or just consequences. I'm just getting like unpleasant consequences for getting into this kind of energy before where you like I wanna say got into your fire, got into your rage, got into your sacred no. And it led to something unpleasant. Maybe it led to shame of exercising your sacred no, but I wanna say this is your sacred no. It just feels like it's kind of in a sacred rage kinda way. Nothing wrong with it. Final card, please. Final card for my fire signs. I was gonna say, I do feel like some of you guys have perpetuated this longer than you've needed to, or you've almost like helped with the creation of the desert. You've helped with the creation of the forest because you haven't said no. You haven't used that sacred rage. And now we have the castle. And I'm definitely getting more of the shadow castle where it's like, particularly the shadow castle speaks of like, you've almost like built a self-made prison of sorts. Um, oh, I'm actually really liking this for you because basically the advice is like, be your fiery, maybe even borderline rebellious self here. Okay. Because I feel a little bit like this is a tamed energy. This is like the tamed cage you put yourself in, like you're like an animal in a cage is kind of how this feels. But the cage is the desert. Where again, like there's something that you haven't been able to take care of for yourself, about yourself. And it's almost like I want to burn this down, but I know I need to play by the rules, or I know I need to like be a little bit accommodating. I know I need to be a little patient, or I know I need to like make this work for a little while. It's like it's like even as I say it, I'm like I'm getting all cringed out. It's playing it safe or playing by the rules to get by. It's like that's what it is. When really you need to let the animal out. Okay. You need to let the animal out and let the animal set the forest on fire. It's what you need to do. Yeah, sustainer. Yeah, you've been playing it safe because something in your pain body has been, like, screaming at you not to because of how it went in the past. And, like, you're gonna be better off, you're gonna be safer if you don't. You're gonna be safer if you, like, let like, part of you, like, not rage out, don't rage out. It's giving me Hulk references. Um, but you need to. In a weird way, not a weird way, it makes sense. In a way, it actually is gonna be very healing for your pain body. It's gonna be very healing to do this, and probably very empowering too. Oh, I'm excited to get into your tarot here. Disco Inferno. If this is something about, like I'm trying to think of an example. If like for some of you, this can be like just like exiting a situation or environment, like moving or a job. People could have been like telling you not to, again, for security or, some sort of stability, or again, playing by the rules or expectations. They're giving you their best advice, but it's not the advice that's really gonna help you. Because 'Cause I'm also getting the feeling too, for some of you fire signs, this is about doing what other people wouldn't, for some of you. It's not about being safe. Because for you, safety is getting out of this, okay? And some of you, people might have been telling you, like, "No, don't do it, don't do it," um, because they could never do that, and you're not them. Interesting. We have the very opposite from everything I'm feeling. Knight of Cups. I wanna say sustenance. Knight of Cups, Pisces, like water, thirst, life-giving energy that you're not getting by being in this deserty place. But anyway, Knight of Cups with Pisces coming out here. Why is the Knight of Cups here? For my fire signs. Why do I feel like this is a friend or something? Oh, it is. Okay. Three of Pentacles. It is. This is a friend. This is an ally. Whoever this is an ally in your corner. Um, it does feel almost like it almost feels like aid. Um, it feels soothing. Why do I feel like this is something that is gonna be there for you after you burn everything down? Almost coming in to be like to be encouraging, to just like to literally be the cup of water after you're like a flame is what that feels like. But in a good way, not in a putting your fire out, but in a like soothing. It does. It feels like a friend. It feels like a friend or an ally. I want to say to help you pick up the pieces. Yeah. This is someone who can help you pick up the pieces. You definitely know them. They're not new. You know this person, and they are an ally first and foremost, regardless of whatever relationship you have with this person. This could even be like a professional, right? Like a counselor, life coach, whatever, right? But this is an energy of helping you pick up the pieces after the fact. Okay. Because whatever you're trying to evacate here, I do feel like it has given you some sense of consistency, but it hasn't been taking care of you. And that there's a big difference there. It's been consistent, but it hasn't been safe, and it hasn't been comforting, not in the way you've needed. Consistency is not safety. I think we get those words mixed up sometimes. But consistency is not safety. Consistency is just predictability. Safety is I'm safe. I am safe. I don't have to worry. I don't have anxiety. You can have consistent abuse. It's just like that's not safety, right? Anyway, I feel like these really just charged emotions with you. Like I'm like trying to like woo-saw a little bit. Because a part of me feels like I want to scream for some reason. And maybe some of you guys could benefit from a little primordial scream. Okay. Just to get the frustration out. Anything else for my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Nine of Swords, and then we have Two of Cups at the bottom. I'm telling you, you got a friend here. Oh, we have an Empress. Um, you've got a friend in your corner. Could it be a guide? Sure. It feels more tangible than that. Feels way more tangible than that. You have been clearly been suffering with whatever the situation is. Okay, with that Nine of Swords. And again, if someone's telling you like, don't do it, that is not your best advice. Rage out. Rage out. Feel the sacred rage and the sacred no that wants to come up out of you. Okay. Um, but also recognize the part of you that is like scared to do this. Okay. Um, because it is coming from the pain body of like, and that part of you in the pain body is trying to get you to minimize yourself. But you need to not be minimized right now. Okay. But you do have someone, maybe even many someone's here who do care about you genuinely. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles, that's screaming the castle energy, right? Consistency is not safety. It's not. Some of you, this is work related or financial related, or like some sense of like like material security. It could even be like housing. Um, you're so focused on the consistency here, like don't rock the boat because this is like consistent. Don't rock the boat because we really got this working for us, but deep down you don't. Sure, it's consistent, but it's leaving you in the desert without any water on some level in your life. And some of you may be materially taken care of, but not emotionally safe. Some of you, this is straight up job security shit. Can I get a final card for my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Like maybe you have a job that's like consistent, but maybe you have to sacrifice a lot of your emotional mental health for that job. Or maybe you have to work a lot of hours, or maybe they're cutting your pay, but oh, it's still a paycheck, right? You know what I mean? Um, and you're like, oh, I can't leave because I got bills. And like, totally valid, by the way. Totally valid. I'm not here to say leave your job. I am not here to say that. I'm here to just confirm what you're already feeling. Okay. So if you're not feeling those things, you're not feeling those things, right? Discern your life is your life, right? Make decisions accordingly. But I'm just giving examples of how this could be coming up in your life. Can I get one final card, please? Ace of Cups. That is that maiden energy. Your cup is not getting filled. You in the desert, you don't got any water right now. Okay. And you may be a fire sign. You may like the heat, but everyone needs a little water, right? But that your cup is not getting filled by the situation and you know it. And you've had a growing frustration and you've had a growing concern about it that you're not taken care of in this way. So do what you will with this. Like I said, you do got a friend in your corner here. You definitely do. And maybe even more than one friend. So it's your life fire signs. Oh Lord, what does water signs have in store? Okay. I'm also, before we move into water, I forget the name of this fallacy, but it's a very well-known fallacy that has been talked about a lot recently, where it's like the amount of like investment you've put into something, right? Like a lot of times people feel like they can't leave something because they put so much in, whether it's so much time, so many years, so much money, or just investment. And it's like sunk cost. Thank you. I was like, I know there's a name for it. Some of you that might be at play here, okay? Especially if it's financial. Um, yeah. Okay. Water signs. Wow. All right. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Any messages for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So water signs. When I was trying to tune into you and fire felt very like, forest on fire. Um, you I feel like there is like in a similar fashion where fire has like that rage that's coming up. I do feel like for you there's like I just kept seeing like oceanic surges. Like I just kept getting like, okay, there's definitely like swirling of water. It didn't feel the same as fire, where fire felt like, let's burn it down, right? This feels almost like the opposite, almost like bringing in swells of soothing, or bringing in swells of joy, or bringing in like swells of water, swells of emotion, is like just like making like stirring it up intentionally is how it feels. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. For my water signs. Any messages or insights for my water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. I'm getting very heady with you. Such a water sign card, the poet. This is all about the subtext behind the text. What's really going on under the surface. Could even say the subconscious. It's also very artsy. Um, I'm getting a lot about intuition here, but it is also a very artsy card, or I want to say a card of the artist. I feel like there's creative surges happening with you. This is really interesting. So, water signs, I feel like some of you, this is not for all of you, some of you have been going through an experience where you have been working with your own emotions differently. And I want to say, like, yeah, actually learning to like surge them when necessary versus like just letting you be at the mercy of them. But I want to say actually like grabbing them and like like I want to say swelling them. That's so interesting. I'm trying to think of a better way to say this. Because certain emotions, can every emotion serves a purpose. I'll say that. Every emotion can gift us something, right? Like rage can be very empowering. For example, rage can get us motivated very quickly to get up and take action, right? Um, Joy and fun and playful energy can get us in a creative mood very easily, right? Sadness and grief can kind of, you know, put us in a very lackadaisical space, but also be very clearing and like allowing us to release and allowing us to rest even at times. It's like different emotions can gift us little things here and there. And I feel like I'm speaking to water signs who have learned this, and it's almost like you're playing with your mastery of that, or your understanding of that, where you're learning what brings in and like makes like joy fluctuate, what makes creativity fluctuate, what makes anger fluctuate, what makes sadness fluctuate. And it's like I feel like you're playing with that. I feel like you're playing with it. Almost I want to say like a symphony. I'm getting a lot of artistry coming through for you water signs. So some of you guys may be finding that you are um, quite the artist in a certain way, whether that's like traditional or not traditional. You're an artistry with your emotions, that's for sure. Um, but I feel creative surges with you. Hmm. Anything else for my water signs? I knew it. Oh no, that's not what I thought it was. I thought it was the seed. It's the mother, but she has a little seed egg thingy right there in her nest. I feel like you're creating something, but it's coming by how you are playing with the mastery of your own emotions. Oh, there's like there's like something going on there in the pain body and I can't touch it. Swans are coming through pretty strongly. What is that I'm feeling in the pain body? It's like literally something that I'm trying to get in there and it's like I can't touch it. What's going on in the pain body for my water signs here? The shaman. Yeah, I was like, I knew something's going on in the pain body. So water signs, I know this is gonna sound weird, maybe it won't to you. It's just how it's coming through. I feel like you're playing with your pain body in a weird way. I do. I feel like you're playing with your pain body and you're transmuting through creation. So some of you are taking like pain and you're like, like art, like, art therapy is an example of this. But in recognizing what emotions evoke things for you, you're learning to lean into them to when it's beneficial. Okay. That's how it's coming through. You're learning to lean into certain emotions when it's beneficial to. But it is for the purpose of like for some of you transmuting something in the pain body, but also like when how to get into creative flow, how to get into like being motivated to do something. That's really interesting. Some of you guys are getting into acting. That's like that's reminding me of like acting skills, right? Like how do you evoke a certain state of being? Like you call up certain memories, right? For some people, that's like one method of acting. Um, I feel like you're doing that. It's like when you need to like be creative or when you need to be motivated or when it's time to like come down a little bit, you know what like where to go. You know how to move the emotions. You know how to like trigger certain things within yourself to do that. Okay. I do feel like there's a lot of transmuting going on. I do feel like you're holding yourself in this space very well, especially if you are specifically trying to deal with the pain body and tackle something. The mother is giving that really strongly. Um, some of you are going through that birthing process and the contractions and all that stuff we talked about. I'm getting that very strongly as well. But I feel like you're creating something, and some of you are birthing something or even just going through a birthing. Can I get a final card for my water signs? Got all the cards that are out here for you. Huh. Thanatos. It's a card about death and endings. Excuse me. Some of you are putting an ending to the way emotions have had an influence on you, and now you are using them to influence certain states of being. God, I don't know how else to say this, but that's how it is. It's like instead of like feeling the ocean of you, you're like on a rock and you're controlling the ocean. But I keep getting it's like it's for very specific intentional things. It's definitely like a magician energy. But again, like if you want to go work out, it's like you're seeing how to play with your emotions and even your pain body to get motivated to go work out. Or to if you want to like sit down and be creative, it's like how to shift to get into a creative space. So fascinating. But yeah, I do feel with the Thanatos and the shaman, there's a lot of devouring of some painful things in the pain body. That's also happening here for you. I'm just sitting with it. There's like this is I don't think I've ever felt something like this before. Can I get one final card for my water signs and then we'll get into tarot? Artists and artistry, they keep bringing that up over and over and over. Well, that's too many. I'm hearing pain point. Hold on a second. Pain point. What is this? Something's going on with my eyes all of a sudden. Um, all of a sudden it feels like my eyes are stinging. Pain point. Pain point. Going into this space of like mastering the ocean instead of just being in the ocean, there is some sort of like pain point, maybe memory, what have you. I want to say in your pain body that like once you see that pain point, it's like you can suddenly take yourself out of the ocean and onto the rock, and suddenly you can see how you can control the ocean. What is that? What is that point? What is that point? I mean, they may not give me a card for this. What is this point? Shapeshifter. Well, that makes sense because you are shifting quite a bit. Everything we're talking about is very shapeshiftery, isn't it? Can we get more of a clarification on shapeshifter? Queen with the healer. It's giving me wounded healer. I feel like I'm reading for a shaman. I do. I kind of feel like I'm reading for a shaman a little bit. You're taking your power back. That's what this pain point is. You're taking your power back. Um, some of you may identify as being a shapeshifter. Shapeshifter is also just like, how do you change the narrative? How do you change the story? Right. But you are learning how to like shift your own energy when it suits you to have proper flow in your life is what it's like it is a mastery of your emotions. There's no doubt about that. But some of you it's getting into these other archetypes of like shaman or like literally a shapeshifter or an artist, right? An artist uses their energy, their life experience to create. Um, but when I'm trying to tune into this pain point, I do feel like you're reclaiming something about your power, which makes sense, right? Because instead of being at the mercy of your emotions, you're having a mastery over them. You're not controlling them, you're working with them. You know how to shift them now when need be. Like instead of getting like swallowed up by grief, you like are learning how to honor what you're feeling, but like shift yourself into a neutral or shift yourself into joy when it suits you. You do have a mastery over this. You always have. It's just remembering that. Yeah. So whatever this pain point is, it's gonna be different for all of you who resonate with this, but especially with healer and queen being here, you're taking it back. You're taking it back. You're empowering yourself here. Okay. Okay. Let's get some tarot cards out here. Ah, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Especially this is what I'm getting from my water signs, but especially more so for my empaths. Um, Other people's emotions are not your responsibility. I'm almost getting this like strange feeling of like this notion or idea that you were like you have to be in the ocean. I want to say that I think that has been born out of people throwing their emotional shit onto you. Like you probably have always been on the rock managing your own ocean until someone comes along and throws you in the ocean. Right? Right? By throwing their emotional shit on you, they're throwing you into the ocean. And maybe you like there's all analogy, right? And then like you try to climb out to get back up on the rock and someone else comes in like, "Whoa, no, you're in the ocean." It's just funny how this comes through. That's kind of what I'm getting here. Other people's emotions are not your responsibility or your business. Is also what I want to say. Or your business. Even if you're an empath and you can feel and you pick up on shit, it's like, yes, that comes with like, being intuitive and sensitive and empathic. But there's a difference between like sensing it, seeing it, feeling it, knowing it, and someone making it your responsibility. That is your sacred no. That is your sacred no. Other people's emotional stuff is not your responsibility. So in managing the ocean, you're also managing like other people's oceans that you're not taking on. Does that make sense? These like people who like want to throw you in the ocean. It could be literally people like trying to force you to take on their emotional baggage, or like heal them or whatever. But it can also be when you're just feeling these things, right? Just because you feel it doesn't mean you have to be in it with what you're feeling from other people. So as you're like feeling other people, or you like are dealing with someone and they're trying to throw it on you, it's like you're practicing how to stay on the rock. You're learning how to stay on the rock. Oh, wow. I was like, something's weird here. But again, I do feel like you are birthing something for sure. You're definitely doing this through the feminine, I want to say. Through this mother-like energy, you're doing this through the feminine. Um, you're maintaining these boundaries, your sacred no through the feminine principle. Interesting. Look at you on the water, not in it. With the I just love this. With the Six of Swords, this is Aquarian energy, which, as we know, is actually the water bearer. But as I even said earlier in this reading, or maybe it was in part one, the Six of Swords to me is having a new perspective, right? It's opening your mind up a little bit to what actually facilitates peace and moving forward and acceptance, maybe even forgiveness at times. It is definitely a moving on sort of energy. But again, I feel like you have found this calm because you're learning how to be on the rock and stay on the rock and not be swept up in your own ocean or other people's oceans. Because again, it's not your responsibility. It's your responsibility to stay on the rock, right? So some of you are leaving behind situations where you've taken it on as your responsibility, or leaving behind people who just like cannot respect boundaries, even emotional, energetic boundaries. Interesting. Some of you guys may be challenged here. We have the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords. There's a lot of swords going on here, water signs. A lot of swords. We have Gemini and Aquarius, and then we have Aquarius again with the King of Swords. Some of you, there may be people who want to disrupt you. You know how to stay on the rock. Sacred no. Sacred no doesn't even have to be spoken. It's also energy. So we spoke about this in the Patreon reading yesterday, where everything is expression. everything. Your energy is constantly speaking all the time. Energy doesn't lie, right? Your words are obviously expression, your body language is expression, the way you like adorn your vessel is expression. Everyone's expressing all the time, whether they realize it or not, right? Consciously and subconsciously. So if people try to keep throwing you off the rock, you know how to maintain staying on the rock. Okay. Yeah. And also when you're on the rock, you can see a lot more clearly versus when you're in the water. Because you can see the water, you can see what's on the horizon, you can see what's coming, you can see what's around you versus being in the water and you're like, right? You're like that. Anything else for my water signs? Woo! Ooh. Oh, we only have to get more clear on. Oh, thank you. They just confirmed as I said, we got to get more clear on this. This is you, water signs. Look at you. Look at you. Ace of Wands and the Queen of Wands holding your wand. Lori, thank you for the $30. Thank you. Thank you for all you do for us. Buy yourself dinner. Get cat treats for Clyde. I just wanted to send you something for all you do. I appreciate you. Thank you. That's very sweet of you. It's so funny. He's so picky with treats. There is like one kind of treats that he does like. So like when I come home, sorry, a little tangent. We'll come back to it. So when I come home from running errands or whatever, I always like try to give him a little treat. Something I've learned about cats recently, when you come home as a human, they this is just theory, who knows? Because like cats speak, but they don't speak, right? It's believed that cats think that you're out hunting. And so when you come home and you don't have anything, they think you're like a bad hunter, that you're not like contributing to the relationship, which I think is kind of funny. So I give him a little treat. Like I've been doing that practice of like, here, I hunted and here's your little treat. Some people use toys and it has actually like had a little bit of change in our relationship. And I think that's kind of funny. So anyway, I just wanted to share. Thank you. Thank you, Lori. But yeah, so water signs. We have Ace of Wands with the Queen of Wands. This is you taking your power. This is you being in your power. Some of you, this could be somebody who's going to guilt trip you or try to guilt trip you or gaslight you, even if they don't mean to. Because it's like, I just keep getting like, this is a disruptive energy. And you're just like, I know how to be on my rock now. Thank you. You're literally holding your power in your hand. That wand, the Ace of Wands, is the sacred flame. It's also a card of purpose for me personally as a reader, but especially in the context of this reading, it is your essence, it is your power, it is you. And you're holding it, you're not going to relinquish it, right? And the Queen of Wands is also somebody who is very confident, very sure of themselves, and is a little bit of a mystic, witchy, shamanistic like energy. And even fire is also very creative with like the artistry, right? You're not going to wield on this because you shouldn't. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get a card on this. There's something very intriguing here because, like, some of you, this may be someone who expects something from you. Um, Talking about the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords. Yeah, they're not getting something from you. Five of Cups. Oh, I think you probably know who this is. This is clearly someone you have a history with because they feel some kind of way, right? They've got the Five of Cups. They have a level of expectation and history with you already, and they're not happy about something. Probably not happy about the way you've been learning to be on your rock, right? Instead of being in the swells of the ocean. And when they speak to you, it may be emotional, but I'll be honest, it feels a little manipulative. It feels a little manipulative, especially with the King of Swords, because these two coming out together is very strange. And the reason for that is the King of Swords is not emotional. So there's something about this that's like not adding up to me, especially the fact that the Knight of Swords is there too. This is air on air. This is fire on air. This is someone who is like very masculine in their energy. They don't have water. They don't have earth. And they're all about the words. With Knight of Swords and King of Swords, they're all about the words and they're all about the intellect. So the fact that like the Five of Cups is coming out here, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I buy that. It's like, I don't know if I buy that even just as a reader. Looking at this is very, very bizarre to me. So this is someone who's intelligent, this is someone who's smart, this is someone who knows how to use their words, but not from an emotional space, from an intellectual one. So they're gonna come in with some sort of like talk or communication about what was. And it just feels there's something about it that just feels odd. Okay. And I think you're going to see that very clearly as you're holding your power. Okay. It almost feels like someone who uses emotions to manipulate and not their own, other people's. And if you are sensitive, which I gather you probably are, they probably have this history with you already that they can like use your emotions to get what they want. Like, oh, if I appeal to their heart, I can get what I want out of this. Yeah, not gonna work. Male or female doesn't matter. Some of you, this is someone who can be very pushy and very dominating. Um, Not all of you, but some of you, and, like, this would be confirmation for those where that applies. Like, I'm getting for some of you, this could like, if it's someone who's pushy, it's somebody who, like how do I wanna say this? Who basically insinuates you're gonna do something without there really being a conversation. And that to me says, like, there's some sort of mastery of words there. Like, I'm trying to, like, think of an example. Like, they're talking, and suddenly you're obligated in some way, and you're like, "How did that happen?" It's kinda got that feeling for some of you. Yeah, that's really interesting. Anyway, little things. Little things, water signs. Okay. Whew. That is it. We're complete. Even though we had to do this in 2 lives, we did it. We've made it happen. And again, thank you for everybody, like, for hanging out, showing up. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. It does help people to find the videos, right? I know we had to do this for the weekly too, and it like did weird things on the numbers for the weekly. But I know I appreciate it and other people appreciate it too. So definitely hit it on the way out. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a great weekend and a great night. I'm going to take a little food break and then I'll probably be getting into sessions for the rest of the day. Um, if you're waiting on a session, I'm doing them, trust me. It's been a weird week, as we all know. But I love you guys so much. And don't forget to check out Patreon, website, and all that stuff. And just enjoy yourselves this weekend. Okay. And I'll see most of you Monday. All right. Bye. Take care.